The Notre-Dame Basilica is in the middle of Paris, quite literally so. It stands on an island in the middle of the River Seine. This Catholic cathedral is a place of worship, but it's also a historical site since the Middle Ages. It's a place of worship, and it's dedicated to the Virgin Mary, the Mother of Christ, and it's attracted pilgrims and people for 800 years. Now, French official figures say that between 12 and 14 million people come here annually. It is one of Europe's most celebrated sites, or at least it was, before a fire 5 years ago, and since then, the cathedral has been closed to the public. Since then, scaffolding has surrounded the church as renovation work is carried out. But gradually, the French Gothic architecture is being revealed again. For example, the large flying buttresses that reflects the feat of the 13th century architects in terms of height and slenderness. Usually, flying buttresses have two flights separated by a support point, but here there's a single flight spanning over the aisles. The building work began in the mid-12th century and carried on for up to 200 years. Modifications were needed in the 18th century and major restorations in the 19th century. During the last 100 years, it's maintenance work that's kept the cathedral open. Standing above the Seine, it's hard to miss it. The two towers are 69 meters high. The spire at the back is 96 meters. The cathedral is 128 meters in length and 48 meters wide. And when it's open, you'll have to climb up 387 steps to reach the top of the towers. The Notre-Dame was closed after a devastating fire that began near the roof after 6 in the evening on the 15th of April in 2019. By the time around 400 firefighters had arrived to extinguish the flames that was blazing for 15 hours, the cathedral's wooden spire had collapsed and most of the roof had been destroyed. The upper walls were severely damaged, but more extensive damage to the interior was prevented by the vaulted stone ceiling inside the cathedral, and that contained debris from the burning roof. Many works of art and religious relics inside were moved away to safety. Some were damaged by smoke, and some of the exterior art has also been destroyed. According to the investigators, in 2020, they said that the fire may have been started by either a cigarette or a short circuit in the electrical system. More than $900 million has been donated from people in 150 countries to rebuild the cathedral. In October, the French culture minister, Rachida Dati, caused some controversy. She said in an article in French newspapers that visitors here should pay €5 each to enter the church once it's been reopened. And she argued that that could raise up to $18 million that would pay for the upkeep of the cathedral.
I think it's very inexpensive. I think it should be twice as much. They've done an amazing job putting this thing back together.
And what about this feeling that nobody really should pay to go into a church, a place of worship?
Well, I'm sure it costs quite a bit of money to fix this. And this is really, I think, just paying for the fixing of the building. I would say that it's worth it.
I don't think so, because like for me, for a tourist, it's better that it doesn't cost something. And it's, I think, a cultural thing. It should be open for everybody. So.
And should be free?
Yeah, free.
If you had a choice, would you pay or not?
I would pay because, for example, now it's they are rebuilding, so somehow we need resources to rebuild the church. So I would.
No, I would not pay because I will talk with the guide to tell him that I'm not going to visit, but I'm going to pray.
Personally, I don't go to church, so I'm not concerned about it, so I can see it more as a monument, and I can understand that we have to pay. But, well, it's only €5. Why not?
Long queues are expected when it reopens in mid-December. Almost 40,000 visitors are expected every single day. There will be a special mass and several services, and then a reopening program that will run throughout 2025.